Well, student, very good morning to everyone. Okay, so we are studying chapter number second, chapters of Indian economy. Yesterday, we studied a story of Kanta and Kamal. So I am asking to Astha Srivastav and Srikriti Maurya reply. What was the difference? What was the difference between the situation of Kanta and Kamal? कांता और कमल की सिचुएशन में क्या डिफरेंस था? Okay, okay. And Kamal? Kamal. Yes. Very good, very good. It means it was the difference. Kanta was working in organized sector and Kamal was working in unorganized sector. So, Padamnab, are you hearing me? Padamnab? Padamnab, tell me, what is difference between organized sector and unorganized sector? Do you know? Juha Jakir, are you hearing me? Yes, reply. Yes. 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 Yes, very good. Yes, very good. It means you are confident. What is the difference between organized sector and unorganized sector? So, just they are the key features of organized and unorganized sector. We are taking a comparative study. It means so organized sector. Here is the security of job. Okay, security of job. But here, no security, no security of job. Okay, it means you are just worker as a permanent. You are working and immediately you can't send out of the company. But here, suddenly, employer can say to you, there is no need to come from tomorrow. Okay, so suddenly just you can send out from the company or work. Next, here, paid leave. Paid leave. It means like Sunday and other leaves, other casual leaves are paid to the workers. And unorganized sector, there is no paid leave. There is no paid leave. This is the difference of organized and unorganized sector. Okay, number third difference here, working hour, uh, working hours, that is 8. Okay, 8 hours you have to work in the company. And here, no certainty, no certain duration of work. Minimum in the unorganized sector, workers are working the duration of 12 hours. 12 घंटे काम करते हैं. But they are not paid extra wages or extra incentive. Okay, and these are known permanent workers, permanent workers, and here daily wages. Daily wages are also they work in this unorganized sector as casual workers. Okay, as casual workers. This is the difference. Okay, and here they got incentive for extra work. Incentive for extra work. And here is no incentive. No incentive for extra work. ओके यहाँ पर इनको इंसेंटिव मिलता है. इट मीन्स जस्ट दे आर वर्किंग अपार्ट फ्रॉम 8 hours. If they stay in the company after 8 hour working, for each hour they are paid. Okay, but here if they are working 12 hours, 16 hours, 12, 10 hours apart from 8 hours, there is no extra wages, no incentive is paid to the unorganized sector workers. Okay, so these are the difference organized sector and unorganized sector. It means यहाँ पर जॉब की सिक्योरिटी होती है, there is no security in the unorganized sector. Paid leave होती हैं and there is no paid leave in this unorganized sector. Here working hours almost 8 hours and here no certain duration for work. Also you have been said to stay there 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours. Okay. And the workers are working in the organized sector, just they are working as a permanent workers. They get all the allowances, TADA. And here, daily wages worker as a casual workers. And how many days they go to work. Okay, how many days they work in the company, they are paid only for the certain days. Okay, here if they work in the company as a extra time, overtime, they are paid as an incentive, extra badges for each hour. And unorganized sector, if the workers are working in this field, there is no incentive for extra badges or extra work, right? So these are the difference between organized sector and unorganized sector, right? Now we will study page number 32, how to protect worker in the unorganized sector. But this is the challenge before the workers, because most of the workers they are working and the millions of workers they are working in unorganized sector. लाखों की संख्या में unorganized sector में काम कर रहे हैं. How they should be protected? उनका प्रोटेक्शन कैसे होना चाहिए? What are the strategy to protect them? उनको हम कैसे protect them? उनको प्रोटेक्ट करें, उनकी जॉब की सिक्योरिटी कैसे हो, उनको लीव को पेड कैसे दिया जाए, लीव को पेड किया जाए आइदर द कैजुअल लीव और अलॉन्ग विद द संडे. एंड नो सर्टेन ड्यूरेशन ऑफ वर्क, उनके वर्किंग आवर फिक्स होने चाहिए, दैट इज 8 hours. डेली वेजेस ऑफ कैजुअल वर्कर्स, इट मीन्स जस्ट दे शुड बी अपॉइंटेड एज ए परमानेंट वर्कर, राइट? So the unorganized sectors offer jobs that are all moved sought after. It means India as the country where thousands of people, those are educated and well skilled or educated people, they are moving here and there in search of job. If they are failure to get job in this situation, if the family problems, if the financial problems they are facing, they are suffering, definitely they agree to work in unorganized sector, because of this is the difficulty before them, how to survive their life, अपनी लाइफ को कैसे survive करें. So but the employment opportunity in the organized sector have been expanding very slowly. Nowadays, in our country, if we talk about the organized sector, most of the employer they have to pay extra wages, extra money, TADA, other allowances, all the medical facilities to the workers. In this situation, just they are not agree to appoint as a permanent worker, to appoint in organized sector, right? So most of the small scale industries, cottage industries, all the employer of these industries, they run their industry only in unorganized sector, because of they have to pay less amount to the workers in the sense of uh, facilities, allowances, salary, right? This is the Same thing. So it is also common to find many organized sector enterprises in the unorganized sector. They adopt such strategies to evade taxes and refuse to follow laws. It means if employer set up their industry, in this situation they have not to pay taxes. They want to avoid taxes. They are not willing to pay tax to the government, and as well as they have not to follow the rules. Just they are thinking, if we are running a small company, a small scale industry or cottage industry, in this situation just we can avoid from to pay taxes and to follow the rules and regulations of the government policies in the field of industry, so they can get more profit. They can get huge profit if they set up unorganized sector industry. Okay. So as a result, a large number of workers are forced to enter in the unorganized sector jobs, which pay you a very low salary. They are often exploited and not paid a fair wage. So most of the worker, if they are working in unorganized sector, they are exploited. उनका शोषण होता है, and their earning are very low, not regular. Whatever they are earning the money, this is not regular, and job are not secure and have not to benefit. उनको ज़्यादा benefit नहीं होता है. Job is not secure. Move further. Since the 1990, 1919 से, it is also common to see a large number of workers losing their job in the organized sector. This is the phenomena from the 1990. Most of the workers, they were working in the organized sector, but they lost their job in organized sector, and these workers are forced to take up a job in the unorganized sector. उनको निकाला गया परमानेंट से और उनको फोर्स किया गया, यू कैन डू वर्क इन unorganized sector with a low earning. Here they are paid very low wages. Hence, beside the need for more work, there is also need for protection and support of workers in the unorganized sector. So this is the need of our in our country, because a lot of people, they are working in industry as a company or factory worker. This is the need of our, how to protect them for their job, for their salary, wages, facilities, and environment wherever they are working. Okay, move further. Who are these vulnerable peoples who need protection? So these are the vulnerable people. In the rural areas, the unorganized sector mostly comprises of landless agricultural laborer, small and marginal farmers, sharecroppers, artisans such as the weavers, blacksmith, goldsmith, carpenters. Nearly 80% of rural households in the India are small and marginalized farmer category. It means these farmers need to be supported through adequate facility for timely uh, delivery of seeds, agricultural inputs, credit cards, storage facilities, and marketing outlets. This is the need of farmers in the rural areas. A large number of people, they are landless laborers, they are working in unorganized sector, that is the agricultural sector, but there is no job security and there is no facility for the workers to sell their product in the market and MSP price. Okay. Move further. In the urban areas, this type of uh, casual laborers or the casual workers could be seen in the different cities, either the big cities or small cities or the district level cities. Most of the casual labor, just every day they could be seen standing for a point to get a job, to get wages for a day as an artisan, carpenter, plumber, electrician, and many more other different kinds of professional persons, different kinds of worker. We can't say not these are not a professional. These are the workers as a laborer. Okay, so casual workers, construction of buildings. If they are working as a kind of construction of buildings, and trade or transport, Such type of workers could be seen here and there. They are unemployed, and these are the casual laborers in the urban areas. So those who work in the street vendor, जो काम करते हैं गलियों में एज वेंडर, है ना, हेड लोडर वर्कर्स जिनको हम पल्लीदार कहते हैं, जो लोडिंग का काम करते हैं, लोडिंग अनलोडिंग, गारमेंट मेकर्स, रैक पिकर्स, स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज also need government support for the procuring raw materials and marketing of output. It means government should need to protect them. Government should help how to protect them, उनको कैसे हम प्रोटेक्शन दें, and how to support them so that they would be able to set up their small scale industry, and wherever they are willing to work they can set up it, right? The casual workers in both the rural areas and urban areas need to be protected. So this is the strategy for protection. These workers, either the land lease workers in the rural areas and casual laborers in urban areas. This is the need of our in our country, because thousands of people they are unemployed, and also they are not well educated. They are unskilled workers. That's why we have to help them. We have to protect for their survival of life, right? We also find the majority of workers from the scheduled caste. If caste wise, uh, what is your question? Okay, what is I'm lagging? So are you saying that you are lagging? Any doubt, any query, you can ask me. Okay, we also find the majority of workers for the scheduled caste. Hundreds of people can be seen in the rural areas. They are belonging to the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Backward communities find themselves in the unorganized sector because of the less educated, and they are not prosperous. They are very poor person financially. That's why they are agreed to work in the unorganized sector from the backward classes, SC and ST. Besides getting the regular and low paid work, these workers also face social discrimination. This is the common phenomenon in our country. It could be seen in the society, discrimination basis on caste and religion, and also poor between poor and rich. Protection and support to the unorganized sector workers is thus necessary for both economic and social development. If India want to remove the discrimination among the society, we have to uplift the society who are poorer socially and economically. Right. Move further. Now we will study the difference between private and public sector. Once again, another way of classifying economic activities into sectors could be on the basis of who own asset and responsible for the delivery of service. Okay, so in the public sector, there are two types. We can classify the people in the society on the basis of public sector and private sector. Okay. So I think you studied in previous class, and also you studied in uh, ownership, private and public sector in the chapter of geography. Okay, तो geography में आप पढ़ चुके हैं what is private sector and what is public sector. Do you know private sector क्या होता है and public sector क्या होता है? Do you know something about private and public? Private, it means any entrepreneur, any industry, any business or workshop is owned by an individual. Okay, owned by an individual, right? Owned by an individual person. And public sector, it is owned by government. Okay, so this is the difference between private sector and public sector. Example, private sector, TISCO, Tata Iron and Steel Company. Okay, TISCO, and also Reliance And public sector owned by government, like you know railway. Railway is the public sector organization. Likewise, rail, WHEL, and some of the other companies like you know uh, HP, Indian Oil. Okay, such type of companies. These are the public sector company, right? And Tisco, Reliance, Tata, and Iron Steel Company or the Tata. These are the individual owner for any entrepreneur or business. So this is owned by individual person, and public sector owned by the government. Okay, so this is the difference between public sector and private sector. Next paragraph, activities in the private sector are guided by the motive to turn profit, to earn profit. This is the motive. So individually, this is the motive to earn profit. This is the first priority. ये फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी होती है एनी इंडिविजुअल ऑनर और एम्प्लॉयर he or she is willing to earn more profit. And public sector first priority to give facility to common citizen, common people. Okay, so this is the first priority of the government and public sector. They have to install and set up any industry or the business. First, they have to supply and they have to give facility to the common citizen or the common people. Okay, to get the service, we have to pay money to these individuals and companies. And the purpose of the public sector is not just to earn profit. Government raise money through taxes because government can collect money through the taxes. That's why this is not first priority to earn profit for public sector companies. And on the services rendered by it modern day, government is spent on the whole range of activities. What are these activities? Why do government spend on such activities? Let us find out. Further, we will study why government spend this money to facilitate the people in the country because of a huge taxes is collected uh, by the different kinds of methods, either the trade, commerce, selling, buying, and manufacturing also. So there are several things needed by the society as a whole, but which the private sector will not provide at a reasonable cost. Very interesting fact. You can understand difference between private and public sector. If 1/4 share of population in our country, India, they are living their life below poverty line or they are the poor. In this situation, how they can afford, they can make access of everything whatever they require in everyday life. उनको जिस चीज की जरूरत होती है क्या वो अफोर्ड कर पाएंगे? So private sector will not provide at reasonable cost the product or the final goods to the people, but here the public sector can provide each and everything to the common people at a reasonable price. Whatever the requirement to the people in our country, either they are poorer and richer section of society, if government gives service to them, government provide them, rate of these things are reasonable. It means so many items are there in our country. Government gives facilities, government gives subsidies on these items. Government subsidy देती है. For example, just you are using LPG cylinder, gas cylinder, and many more other seeds, fertilizers, and other things. Okay, so government आपको subsidy देती है. So some of these need spending large sum of money, which is beyond the capacity of the private sector. If everything should be given to the private individual, private owner, most of the people, those belonging to the poor section of society, will not be able to afford it because some of the project of the government they are uh, needed a huge amount to set up the industry. For example, just we are taking electricity. Electricity, if the project to generate electricity, most of the private owners of the employer, they are the capitalists and rich people, they are able to set up the plant how to generate electricity. Electricity को कैसे generate किया जाए, they can afford it, they are able because they are prosperous. But a person who is poor, एक poor person है, he or she is not able to afford and to set up electricity. ये electricity वो अपना plant नहीं लगा पाएगा, afford नहीं कर पाएगा. It means ultimately we can say poor people of the society, they are not able to set up the industry to generate electricity, and ultimately they will not use this facility of power or electricity, right? So some of the project needed to set up by government, by public sector, not a individual owner, not a single individual owner or entrepreneur. So that's why also collecting money from the thousands of people who use these facilities is not easy. If just we are thinking, for example, we can collect money from each and every person who are living in the village or the town and locality, but thereafter we would not be able to set up a long project, a heavy project like multi-purpose dam to generate electricity. So something and some of the project certainly it could be settled, it can be set up by government or public sector. Facility of highways, facility of railways, facility of power. These are the facilities only provided by the government. Any individual person would not be able to facilitate, would not be able to uh, receive such type of facilities. Okay, so this is the need for public sector. Government can provide it easily. So even if they don't, they do provide these things, they would charge a high rate for their use. Yes. Example, our construction of roads, bridge banana hai, railway, harbors, generating electricity, providing irrigation through dam. Thus, government have to undertake such heavy spending and ensuring that these facilities are available for everyone. So, this is the duty of government. This is the duty of public sector in our country. They can provide all these facilities like power facilities, highways, railways, health care, education. ओके, तो पावर की फैसिलिटी देना है गवर्नमेंट का काम है. पब्लिक सेक्टर, हाईवेज प्रोवाइड कराना गवर्नमेंट का काम है. रेलवेज प्रोवाइड करना, दिस इज द ड्यूटी ऑफ. हेल्थ केयर एंड एजुकेशन. हेल्थ केयर like set up hospitals, medical care. This is the duty of government or public sector. And education, opening school and college for the children. They can afford well education in the schools. Okay, so it is not a duty, it is not a work for individual honor. If any individual is able to set up such type of facilities for the people, in this case, the rate would be very higher. So poor people of the society, they would not be able to afford it. अगर इंडिविजुअल ऑनर ऐसा कर भी लेता है तो गरीबों के लिए वो रेट नहीं होंगे. गरीब, इट मीन्स पुअर पीपल वुड नॉट बी एबल टू अफोर्ड एंड एक्सेस इट, राइट. मूव फर्दर, देयर आर सम एक्टिविटीज विच द गवर्नमेंट हैज टू सपोर्ट. तो कुछ ऐसी एक्टिविटीज होती हैं गवर्नमेंट मस्ट बी सपोर्टेड टू द पीपल, and the private sector may not continue their production or business unless government encourage. And whatever the production is done in the private sector without support of government cannot be completed, cannot be run. Either any project that are set up by the individual owner, definitely the government of India or any government of the country support a big project to the entrepreneur, a big project for any individual employer. ओके, सो आर यू हियरिंग मी? आप लोग सुन पा रहे हैं मुझे? reply. So any kind of doubt, any question, any query, you can ask me. आप पूछ लिया करें. So just we are going to end this chapter today, and I hope you have to complete your written work from this chapter. As I told already, we have to study one more chapter from economics, that is chapter number 3, money and credit. Okay, but before it, you have to write. Yes, yes, yes. Ask me, ask me. Harbor, harbor, harbor means port, port, bandargah, port, where the station of ship. Okay. So the private, yes, 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 yes. Ask me. School, school. Both kind of schools could be seen in our country. Some of the schools just they are working or functioning or set up a school on a small scale. Small schools only they are working casually and they are giving education to the children not very well, and they are appointing the teachers not giving a smart salary, and there is no medical facility, ESI and gratuity and other facilities to the teachers. If any employer of the school, any owner of the school is giving all the facilities to teachers like provident fund, smart salary, permanent job, as a just this so permanent teacher. Okay, so such type of schools and also must be affiliated from the board, either the CBSE board or if Hindi medium is the UP board and other ICSE board or the Central Board of India. So this is the main important thing, must be affiliated for organized sector. Okay, move further. So for example, selling electricity. Example बहुत अच्छा है, समझ लीजिए. Selling electricity at the cost of generation may push up the cost of production of good in many industries. Suppose that if the cost of electricity is much higher, in this situation, whatever we will get production, we will manufacture by using electricity. Whatever the machines are run in the factory to product any item, to produce any item, in this situation, if already we are receiving, we are getting the light or electricity at higher cost, at higher rate, definitely we have to add more values further processing whatever we are producing, right? मान लीजिए आप इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पर यूनिट आपको मिल रही है 10 रुपीज, 10 रुपीज पर यूनिट, एंड आप मशीन को मूव कर रहे हैं, आप गारमेंट बना रहे हैं और आपको ये महंगी मिल रही है, तो वो गारमेंट भी महंगा हो जाएगा. ओके, जस्ट यू आर मेकिंग गारमेंट, तो गारमेंट की कॉस्ट भी हैवी हो जाएगी, बिकॉज वट एवर द इनपुट यू आर गिविंग हायर एट हायर रेट, तो इट इज पुशिंग अप द रेट्स ऑफ वट एवर यू आर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग. जो कुछ भी आप बनाते हैं उसके भी तो रेट ज़्यादा हो जाएंगे व्हेन you will get any facility from private or public sector at higher rate. तो हम जो भी फैसिलिटी लेते हैं at the time of manufacturing of product, if the input cost is higher, definitely we have to sell at higher rate. तो ज़्यादा लागत हमने लगाई है तो ज़्यादा महंगा हमें बेचना पड़ेगा. Okay, so I am taking your attendance. मैं अटेंडेंस ले रहा हूँ आपकी पहले. सो वेट जस्ट ए मिनट. स्टूडेंट बहुत एब्सेंट रहते हैं आजकल. चलिए ठीक है, ऐसे स्टूडेंट को मैं डेली वॉच कर रहा हूँ और ऐसे बच्चों को अच्छा खासा पनिशमेंट देंगे हम. मैंने भी क्लियर कह दिया है, आप लोग अगर बात ठीक से नहीं मानोगे तो उसका खामियाजा भुगतना पड़ेगा. ये बहुत मैं क्लियर कट बोलने वाला इंसान हूँ और मैंने कई बार कहा है कि रेगुलर बच्चे हैं उनको बहुत अच्छे मार्क मिलेंगे, जो इरेगुलर हैं उनको कम अच्छे मिलेंगे, और जो कहीं न कहीं पूरे महीने में 2-3 बार प्रेजेंट होते हैं, ऐसे भी कुछ बच्चे हैं उनका ठीक ठाक लॉस दिखाई देगा. ओके, सो एंडिंग आवर सेशन. थैंक यू सो मच. हैव अ नाइस डे.